good engine start. You're clear to disconnect the headset. We'll see you on the left with the pin. Thanks a lot. Two saddled. Well, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. In this one, me and Spartan Pilot are doing a realistic two-ship Case 1 recovery onto the supercarrier. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do this on YouTube, so I thought, why not give it a shot? So follow along, and I'll just kind of guide you through with some commentary here and there as to what we're doing and how we're doing it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the traps.
306, see you at 10. Update state, switch down. Set C50.
2.
Tower 306, overhead angels 2.5, state 5.3. 306, Tower, roger, BRC 353, signal is Charlie. 306.
So we're slowed down to 250 knots here to join what's called the Marshaling Stack, but there is nobody else apart from us coming into the circuit, so we will just join a beam or adjacent to the boat there, 2.5 miles or so, and then roll out downwind, and after that we'll start to accelerate down to 800 feet and 350 knots for the Case 1. Now you'll see we are flying in what's called arrow formation all the way around here. Basically, it just gives enough room to maneuver for number 2. In case lead does something a little bit out of the ordinary, you know, there's no issues in terms of mid-air collisions. So at this point, I think I do come a little bit too close potentially. It just wasn't paying enough attention. I think generally you might want to fly just a little bit further back in arrow, but nonetheless, I do realize.
Set 350.
I do realize I got a little bit close here, and once we start down the acceleration part here at 350 knots, up to 350 knots, 800 feet, I do let him gain a little bit of distance and drop back into nice arrow formation. Now at this point, 2.5 miles abeam the boat, we're accelerating out. We want to be coming around to establish ourselves at 800 feet, as a lot of you guys will know, and 350 knots and about 3 miles behind the boat. Now you see conveniently there's a ship placed right about at that distance where we need to be rolling out, so it's nice and easy to approach. So Spartan is looking at our tagging at the moment. It's reading about 4.8 miles direct to the boat, so now we'll be coming around and hopefully we'll establish just before 3 miles back on heading on speed. Just trying to keep that nice formation going, keeping an arrow all the way around until we are established on the final base recovery course, and after that number 1 will tell me go into echelon formation.
Echelon right, go.
2. So here we go, echelon right. So we're gonna come in nice and close to him now to make the brake look really cool when coming onto the carrier. So I guess some guys might be a little bit further out at this point in real life, but I don't think there's anything wrong with coming in a little tight. It's not exactly Blue Angel's distance. It does make the brake look really, really cool. So established quite nicely at exactly 800 feet, 350 knots. And letting number 1 break off as soon as we pass the boat. And there he goes. Now we're timing right about 10 to 15 seconds and starting our turn left as well. So at this point we're flying the standard case 1 recovery, basically pulling G relative to our speed here currently, and we're starting to think about descending down to about 600 feet as we are rolling out downwind. As soon as the speed is below 250 knots, obviously you can use speed brake to help you out. You try and get the gear down, first stage of flaps, and you try and sort of match the speed to the E bracket and trim it out. Not let the nose balloon down to about 600 feet here. Obviously get the last stage final flap setting out, and we want to be established about 1.3 miles abeam the boat, which is pretty much where we are, so that's perfect. And as soon as we're passing the stern, we should be starting to turn there. 600 feet, it's looking good. We're on the E bracket. I think I have delayed the turn a little bit. I think I could have started a little bit sooner. It's quite difficult to judge without VR when you're in 2D, when you're exactly abeam the stern, but nonetheless, anyway, it's not too bad. Just keeping the velocity vector just below the horizon, so try to keep a really gentle descent going. Should be around about 450 to 500 feet when we're passing the 90, but in my case, I did delay it a little bit too much. I think I was aware of that, so there's no issue with being a little bit higher. Obviously, probably end up a little bit low on the glide here on the ball initially. That is just because we've delayed the turn a little bit too much. There it is, coming back in, and now it's all about nice and gentle corrections. I have had the HUD cage there, as you saw, just to make it a little bit easier to follow, but now just to actually understand where you're flying, uncage it of course, and now try and capture that ball, get on the glide.
One deck.
2. And after that it's just all about minute corrections with mostly the thrust. So timing worked out pretty well for both of us there. Obviously in real life we'd have some marshalers here helping us out, marshal us around the deck, but unfortunately in the supercarrier they haven't done that. I know I've complained about this in another video as well, and it is a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that they're working on the ready room, and if you see some objects flickering there straight ahead, that is the VPC mod, the VPC airfield mod, object mod, which is just not being playing well at all. I've had all sorts of problems with it, so I'll avoid using it in the future, so you must excuse me for that. But anyway, I hope we do get marshalers, and I hope we get those wands for nighttime, and I hope they sort out all the parking issues with aircraft, and the fact that you can't select your own parking space when you're starting on the supercarrier is also a bit annoying. But at this point we'll proceed with the shutdown, so just setting the parking brake, getting rid of the INS radar, opening up the canopy and de-arming the ejection seat, going through the blinds there, just having a look to see if there's any error codes coming up. And that is it, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, please smash the living daylight out of the like button. Subscribe for future videos if you could, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.